Hello everyone, Mystic here, and welcome back to Hat in Time. Last time we finished off Chapter 3 with the boss and all 3 of its rifts. So now we're going to move to Chapter 4, and we're going to begin the free roam of Alpine Skyline. This chapter is the most unique of the original chapters in the game. As you're going to see, it starts off quite differently. And our goal appears to be downwards, but that's only because we've got to go upwards first. If you notice, there's a bench here that we can sit on, but of course, you only want to do that if you don't have the achievement. If I sit, I sit. By swinging on this bell, we eventually open up the gate. Even though we most likely could have jumped over it. And now, we're going to make an ascent. The place is shaking, but we're still climbing up. And once we reach the top, as you can see, we're in the middle of what looks like a whirlwind. But we need to spin all of these. So, let's go ahead and spin them. And just like that, we can now progress on this line. And through the storm, we will finally reach our destination. The beautiful Alpine Skyline. You can switch tracks while you're on these, by the way, and that will be vital for if you plan to go into direct combat after getting off one of these. Here we are.
I don't know much about the goats up here, but we try to give them a wide berth. If you get in their way, they tend to be a bit pushy.
In the Alpine Skyline, there are the nomads, I believe they are called, and, like that one there said, the goats. If you don't understand what that one was talking about, there are multiple routes which we open. However, in order to actually get to those routes, we got to do something different. But first, the final yarn type we need, time stop yarn. This is the most expensive hat in the game, as it requires 32 yarn. We've got So, we're actually pretty close to it, as we're 3/4 of the way.
Telescopes let you look at faraway peaks. The birds at the birdhouse steal shiny things.
As you can guess, locations involve the old windmill and the birdhouse.
The bell is this way.
And now we also have the Twilight Bell. But, as you can see over there, atop this bit of rock
Blow those horns to open up some new routes.
is one of these horns. So let's climb on up, and we toot the horn. You cleared Goat Village. As you can guess, those horns will unlock more paths that we can take. So there's most likely horns within these different paths already. So first, let's go over to the red path. Sizzling lava split. Now,
This heat is great. Oh, it's even hotter to the right.
as you can see, already there is a split that we must choose. By going to the right,
This way for the lava cake.
we can go to the lava cake. Now, it says when we're at the Ember Summit, 1 treasure. This essentially is saying there is potential loot for us to take here. The catch is with all of these routes, besides the fact that of course we're all the way up in the sky, some of these routes can be dead ends. And also somehow these birds can actually shove me while an icicle. If you climb up onto this house, you'll notice it's burning. But also you would notice over here there just so happens to be a very, very inconspicuous rarity over there. But for now, let's go to the lava cake. As you can guess, the lava cake is full of lava. However, it also is amazing for its hot springs. But we're not here for that. We're here for the cake itself.
End up like this anyway.
Within the lava cake, these platforms can fall and rise from the lava. As well as the birds can be on fire. So now we have essentially a solid game of parkour. We want to collect a lot more yarn to make sure that we can create the time stop hat, as it will be a necessity eventually.
Hi! This is clearly a safe place for a child to be.
So carrying on through, we can reach this ice platform
I think I spy some treasure.
to send us to this area with treasure, supposedly. This part of the lava cake is a parkour challenge. There we go. As you can see, there is a lot of lava just scattered everywhere. But by finding these kinds of boxes, you find the treasure. In which case is a rift token. Which brings us to 2. Now we head back to the lava cake. As you see, we're about halfway through it. The lava cake is truly just difficult due to the nature of the platforms falling and rising in an endless amount of lava. However, as you can see, we do have a split path here. Now, you would factually have the brewing hat already, but the reason that there's yarn here is to help you get more for the brewing. I mean, not the brewing, for the time stop hat. And the reason that you'd want to have the time stop hat before coming here anyway is to slow down every enemy and every challenge that you face. Of course, however, we don't have enough yarn to do that, so we're going to need to push through. Now, the timepiece is there, but we want to get all the way over to here and grab ourselves another piece of brewing yarn, bringing us to 27 of 32. We are now 5 short. But let's get this timepiece. You've cleared the lava cake. Unlike every other mission in every other chapter, we get sent right back to Goat Village once we're done.
Please,
Here is the final badge of major value. The Fast Hatter badge. Trust me when I say this badge is your most powerful asset. As now, every single hat that uses an ability with a cooldown is significantly speedier. With the best example being the ice hat. Now, I would like to save the Twilight Bell for last. So, why don't we go on over to the birdcage? As you can see, there's a piece of yarn in the middle of all of this tightrope walking.
Make sure you swing towards the path you want.
This talk of swinging to the path you want becomes very noticeable real soon. As it seems to me we're not going towards the birdhouse. But, as that nomad was saying, there is in fact a horn at the top of this area. By using that horn we will make a branching path. There we go. Oh no. Thank you to the hover badge for saving me there. There we go. And right up here is our horn. And as you can see, the deviation has been made. By swinging along this way, we're not able to actually go towards the birdhouse. However, all we have to do if we do want to go that way is swing to the left once we go back along. As you can see, there is a treasure here. However, equally be wary, as by coming up to the birdhouse, be expecting, of course, a lot more bird-based enemies. It's not that hard by the looks of it to climb up this area. Also, if you can tell, we may or may not have slightly committed a sequence break. And now that we're all the way up here, if we were to go over to this side, as you can see there's a PC on, but equally it's a lot more confusing on how to get to there if you take the normal path. But as you can see, this side route seems to be our answer. And there is an Elvis Presley bird, but by collecting that yarn, we clear the area. You can tell when an area is cleared because a green light will be emitted nearby where you came into the area from. But now it's time to go to the second major area. The birdhouse. This twisting area of homes for birds and, well, as you can see over there, a very big boy.
Not everything.
We need to somehow figure out the way around this. However, there's also a new enemy type over here, which is an egg that explodes. We got more yarn.
There's something strange about some of those birds.
I wonder what's strange about them. Maybe the fact they explode? Now, be majorly careful in this bit, as besides the egg bomb, right appears an Elvis Presley bird, as I like to call them. Now here's where deviations begin, and this is where it can begin to become confusing. As this area seems to be finished, so we'd simply go over here, correct? No. Using our dollar's mask, we can come over here. And over here is a relic, another piece of cake. And now we have another deviation of, do we go on top of this house or through it? By going through the birdhouse, we end up over here. And I would recommend, at minimum, at least defeat these birds before you carry on. As you can probably guess, we can do something by going up here. That being, we can head to the very top of this birdhouse. And from the very top there, as you saw, but I failed to do, we can jump on through to another part. This being what we saw earlier, with a rift token trapped in this small bit. How do we head back, though? You can also see there's something out there in the distance, which we will eventually be doing as well. As you can see, there's an ice platform, which when we hit, leads us all the way over here. To, yet again, another rift token. This brings us to 31 yarn, meaning we're one off, and 4 rift tokens, meaning we're one over. Now, we have 2 routes we can go. We can head down here, or we could have gone the route I already showed. Climbing up this ladder, we head all the way up to here. Very high up area. And as you could have seen, there are rainbow effects there, meaning we can go over there. And how do we do that? Well, we climb more birdhouse roofs. And over here is our final PC arm. And with that, let's make the time stop hat. This hat, while it says time stop, doesn't stop time, but slows it to a crawl. It has the longest cooldown, but it has the most use, as you could likely guess from the ability to slow time to a crawl. I'm going to easily show off what I mean by its usage with this Elvis Presley bird. It can't keep up to me no matter what it tries. So now it's blow on this horn and open up the final thing we need to in this area. And with that, we come to a very big and sleepy bird, which we can bounce on the head of to get to the timepiece. You've cleared the birdhouse. And just like before, back at the lava cake, this pollen proceeds to fly out of the area and at more goats. Now, we've completed the lava cake and the birdhouse. If you recall, there were 3 total areas. Those being
Blow those horns.
the lava cake, the birdhouse, Twilight Bell. This is a lot harder of one to reach, unless am I just mistaking it for a different one. I wouldn't be as ashamed of that if I am mistaking it for the wrong one. As I want to save Twilight Bell for last, like I've already said. Ah, here it is.
I think any hourglasses fell this way.
No hourglasses fell down here, but we're going to explore this way anyway. The Goat Refinery has one treasure for us. While yarn is no longer of use to us as we've created every hat, we're still able to collect it. And all the way at the top of here just happens to be a piece of time stop yarn. You've cleared Goat Refinery. If you can't tell as well, I do want to actually go back to other areas and clear them off here. Starting with what we saw when riding on that very line there. However, as you also can probably guess, there is a path over there too that I want to check.
Have you noticed those bright flashing lights in the sky? They started appearing recently after some weird hourglasses fell from the sky. I wonder what they could be. In any case, I really wish they wouldn't be so bright. They're blinding. These telephones.
As you can guess, that nomad is basically saying the timepieces are being way too bright for them. Which, honestly, I'm not one to say that they're wrong about that.
The birds at the birdhouse steal shiny things.
Now, there's only two more locations we need to go. The Twilight Bell, which I want to do last, but also the final location that we have yet to go to,
The old windmill is this way.
the old windmill. There is a horn here.
There's a horn at the top.
And we need to climb up. You can also probably guess pretty easily thanks to the rainbow effect there. But it's a bit hard to reach it.
There's a horn at the top.
There is, in fact, items here too. Despite it not talking about any treasure. The game doesn't need to always state that there's treasure. If there's a horn, it's considered more important. And of course, any areas with timepieces are already significant. It's a bit hard to aim it, but there we go. In here is another piece of yarn. if you climb up on this house and climb over here, as you can see, that's where we're going to go to potentially carry on our journey. But by doing what I just said, you can kind of cheat a bit of the map. And when I say a bit, I mean a very good portion. We blow this horn. And we produce another path. Originally, we would have had to go all the way over to this mountain as well.
Careful, some of these bridges are old.
However, thanks to what we did, we flat out only had to go up one mountain. Now, let's head to the left and see where our new path takes us. Windy Passage. Now, this area is unique as it is a perfect half stalemate location. Going one route will take you to the old windmill, but it seems to be we can't quite go there yet, so let's go over here.
This one leads to a horn. You can just see it.
Over here, however, is Curlytail Horn Trail.
Care, kid. I went up ahead and scratched slightly.
This area contains ninja cats. You don't want to really be on the floor, as either they'll steal your hat or your pons. There we go. Nope, that one stole my hat. There we go, we've retrieved our hat. And up here is the horn. And there it is. As you can tell, this is a little bit boring, as we're simply just going up and then back down. But real soon, we'll be in the next major part. By bouncing up here, as you can see, there is also a chest. So let's quickly do that before we carry on. And this has another PCR. And by going up here, we're now on a direct way to the windmill. And here we are. The windmill. Now, the thing about the windmill is only really a upwards path that we take. So, the route we take is this way. There will be a death wish that involves the windmill, which I've not completed yet due to how absurd the challenge is. Luckily, this is a way easier to deal with mission. There we go. It's very easy to get through when the speed is not absurd. There we go. Ow. As you can see, the thing about this area is it is very much a confusing landscape. However, as you also might have just noticed, I jumped a bit higher than normal. A glitch or trick when you're using time stop hat is you're able to actually increase natural momentum from things like jumping if you're on a platform moving the same direction you jump, or I should say up. There we go. Now, this might be confusing, but we briefly have to come outside the windmill and carry on upwards. There we go. Ah, we then come outside of the windmill again, and we return inside the windmill. As you can see, we very much are bouncing about in and outside the windmill. However, we always keep the main direction of going up. Okay, we simply just need to keep on moving along. And if I'm correct, that will mean the last time we're properly away from the windmill. There we go. Oh, I was trying to do a major skip, I believe, actually. Oh. Come here, platform. As you can see, Time Stopper really just helps out with everything. If you listen closely, you can start to hear the twinkling of the timepiece as we're nearing the top. We're bouncing all the way along here. We then reach the final segment that leads up and out. And now we're at the very top of the windmill. And here it is. That is the windmill cleared. Once again, a piece of that purple pollen flies up, and that's another one influenced. I'm going to say, for now, that is enough of today's episode. We began and did quite a few of the missions here within Alpine Skyline. But we're one mission short, being the Twilight Bell. So next time, we'll be going to the Twilight Bell. This is Mystic, and goodbye.